So here I'm going to try to demonstrate 10 kicks in a row using the sliding spot system. My goal is not necessarily to make the ball, although it's nice when that happens. I'm just trying to sort of see how quickly I can run through the procedures and kick the ball. This looks a lot different than the cross corner shots in my other demo video because the ball's out in the open table, so I have to do an extra set of procedures to kind of like how a coordinate plane has two dimensions. On a cross corner, there's only one dimension. So this one, it's out from the corner and out from the rail. So I got to do a couple things. I'm not going to count this one here because it's too easy to kick at. But again, my goal is just to kick 10 in a row. We've got one, I think, so far. And you see some wacky procedures here. I'm calculating 80% there. And this is set up for an 8-foot table. I'm mimicking the rail. All stuff that I'm going to teach in some videos, but you can try to figure out what's going on. We'll note all of these are at basically fast speed or somewhere around the 75% power. They are a little more consistent at that speed, so I'm just demonstrating one speed here. Again, I always align past the ball. And it goes in every now and then, especially when I pay a little more attention to it. But this one's a little tricky because the cue ball is up against the rail, and I don't have a great touch, so it's harder for me to get a pure stroke on the ball, but it's not too bad. Now I got to go behind the ball here. Again, it's almost like I'm intentionally doing this, but you kind of can't see everything. But that's the key, is I'm using the cue to pick my point of aim. And I got to shoot down on it, but I'll try to be as good as possible. Pretty good. I'm thinking it's almost too boring of a shot. Yeah, I thought so. I think on this shot I like to shoot into the rail because it actually is a little bit more interesting to shoot that distance. When the cue ball is really close to the rail, it can be hard for people to estimate. And this system excels when the cue ball is close to the banking rail. It's sort of the best estimator I've ever used. Although that one's pretty close to the rail, it is sort of far away. You can see me doing my 80% procedure here, mimicking cross corner. And you see me always pivot on my leg. And then I'm going to look. Now, obviously in live play, you're not going to have the decimal diamonds that I have on my table, but you try to remember somewhere, some marker on the table of where that mark was. The good thing is you don't actually need many, like as far as the measuring I do, it's all just procedure. I'm not counting, I'm not calculating, not really that much. I'm just finding locations that I know fit each scenario. This one, yeah, it's going to go through the pocket. In this case, you can adjust with English for something like that, but I just go the other way and hit it, won't count it. This one, I think I remember getting a little bit confused here for a second because I I think I double adjusted for the distance to the rail. Yeah, that's right. I measured to the rail and then I wasn't satisfied with it. So I went to actually do a pinch. Um, so I'm actually pinching the distance behind the ball to the rail and I measure it. And here's where I think I got confused. I ended up putting it down. See how I put it so far down on the table? That's the spot that the tip of the cue kind of should have been. And I sort of double measured, but it obviously didn't look right. So And that's something that's kind of a plus for the system. If it doesn't look right, it's probably wrong. You might need to rethink it in there. I'm pretty sure I've got it now. You can see it's about the same spot I had earlier. I think it was about a tenth of a diamond off, so compared to the first mark. So it was good that I remeasured it. This one's tricky at that wide angle, but I make that. And of course, you see me deflated because the ball's on the rail, and I'm having a harder time getting a hit on it. Of course, it's not too bad because the object ball is so close to the rail. This one's kind of hard to mess up, but still going to use the system to just show when your brain is like in the middle of a match and you can't quite think and you just need something to fall back on. Even if it's sort of an easy bank, you can still use it to get your point of aim, even if it's sort of a shot you think you can do with your own adjustment. Right now I'm checking for the angle into the rail. If it's gonna go, I'm trying to see if it's gonna hit that side pocket or not. I'm trying to pick between the two, banking off the near rail or the far rail, which one is gonna make more sense to try to miss that side pocket. And this is actually a remarkably tricky bank for a lot of people. I forgot about that. I hit the ball. Still gonna do the same sort of thing. But this is a remarkably tricky bank for people because you end up in such a shallow angle. Every little bit it ends up like slipping off the rail. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, I'm gonna switch to bank to the other side because of course I hit it being clumsy, and now it was the opposite of effect. I was gonna hit the side pocket shooting at the far rail, so we switch over and we'll kick at it this way, which is kind of a long kick, but a nice full hit there. It's actually pretty easy. There's almost no adjustment on this. This is almost identical to shooting a cross corner kick, but I'm just sliding. Basically what's happening is I'm transposing the shape of the end rail to be where that ball is. So I'm actually treating this like a cross corner shot, but I'm sliding the whole system over in my head in order to make that hit. Not a great hit there, but I think we're up to 10. I'll have to go back and count them. Looks like I wasn't sure. So I got one more here. I think this might be 11, but I didn't know at the time. I think I lost track with the ones that I wasn't counting because they were too easy.